Hello everybody, this is Dr. Z. Website is drzhealingarts.com, and I'd like to wish everybody peace, power, prosperity, and most of all love to you and your families. Let's get right down to business today. Since we don't have a lot of time to waste, this is a race between the really negative forces and your own awakening and your own enlightenment and your own fight against your own ignorance and the ignorance of others around you. So we will get right into the Super Supplements course part 1. If you go to the website, you'll see that the written part is episode 1 is written on the website, so go check that out. I'll attempt to summarize some of that and then expound upon it. You notice in my video, which was kind of the preliminary to this Super Supplements course, episode 1, I'm not sure how many episodes it'll go. It'll go as long as I think it needs to go until I've covered the subject. There's no way to cover it completely, but there's a way of at least getting the basics out there so that you have a framework to then make the proper decisions and then go do some extra research on your own, because in the end it doesn't really matter what I say, it matters what you say and what conclusions you draw based on the knowledge that you're given. But I can certainly share my experience, since I have pretty much everything I tell you I've either used on myself or live patients who have either gotten worse because of it or have gotten much better. And you learn from both your mistakes and your successes. And so as far as supplements are concerned, let's talk about that. To me, supplements should be grouped into 2 categories: vitamin and mineral isolates, and all the processed supplements, and of course your natural derived concentrated herbal supplements. 2 different things completely. One is food, one is likely synthetic. Why don't I like the synthetics? Well, for a number of reasons. First of all, the synthetics are not what the body is used to seeing. And even if it was taken from a natural source, it is being pulled out of its natural state. And I've made a statement about vitamin C, because that's one of the most widely used vitamins. Vitamin C, vitamin D, all the alphabet vitamins. One of the most widely used vitamins in the world is vitamin C. But when you look at it, it says vitamin C, parentheses, ascorbic acid. Now, I don't want ascorbic acid. I don't want ascorbate, which you may see it spelled like that as well. Same thing. To me, that's not vitamin C. And why don't I consider that vitamin C? Because to me, vitamin C must be part of its natural complex. Now, natural complex referred to as a complex of bioflavonoids. And this is in nature how vitamin C is surrounded by the natural components. It's not just separated. See, vitamin C is one of a component of a plant that contains vitamin C. And yes, fruits contain vitamin C, and so do herbs, certain vegetables, peppers, high in vitamin C. There's a lot of natural occurring vitamin C in the plant kingdom. But even if we were to take that natural vitamin C and extract it from a natural source, we still have a problem, because now we've taken it out of its natural environment, its natural habitat, and now we're giving it to the body that doesn't recognize it. It's saying, what is this? Because in nature it doesn't exist that way. It exists as a bioflavonoid complex. We can go the same with vitamin E. Vitamin E, which now I've just read an article being made from synthetic oils and other nonsense, and of course there are different types of vitamin E. But vitamin E, there's the vitamin E that's has isomers, D and L isomers, and the body can only recognize one, not both, or not the opposite. And then you can actually, again, do yourself a lot of harm. That's why I always say stop killing yourself, because really the lack of knowledge is killing you. So let's talk about vitamin E just a quick bit. Listen, these are concepts. I'm not trying to go through a whole course on supplements, but I'm going to, I will release a Project Detox. It's a 90-day, it'll be an ebook, probably somewhere between 20 and 65 pages. I haven't decided how expansive I want it to be. More expansive, more expensive. So I'm going to try and keep it as succinct as possible. But just know that if you're the golden chalice, the holy grail of getting physical health, really is a mind of detoxification, and it's built around a raw food diet with herbs to help accelerate that. Also, the holy grail of health is built around your energy centers, reflected in your endocrine glands, working in harmony and unison. So when we go to take the vitamin isolates that the body doesn't understand, it's like the difference between a heavy metal music, which is very, very chaotic, and a harmonizing music. So like classical music. When the body takes in these synthetics, these isolated vitamins, even if it's a natural source, a synthetic, it is not the same as receiving it in the whole food manner. And I can't emphasize that to you. The body doesn't absorb it the same way. It very rarely will handle it the same way. Can you get some benefit? Possibly, but you're playing Russian roulette with yourself. So we know that vitamin E in its natural state comes from a source of what we call tocotrienols, which are different types of vitamin E, all in a complex, just like vitamin C would be part of a bioflavonoid complex. So is vitamin E, and so most of your vitamins. They come as part of a complex. They don't come as isolates. And what happens when you get isolates? Well, those isolates then are either synthetically made, again, if they're naturally extracted, which I don't like the extracts. I don't even like what I'm seeing now, which is the curcumin that's being extracted from the turmeric. That's supposedly the active ingredient. Well, why not just use the turmeric? And by the way, the best form of turmeric is the actual turmeric root that you put into a drink. You actually take the root, juice it just like you would a celery or a cucumber, and then you have an orange-colored drink. Of course, I'll add that to my green drink. I'll make it along with the green drink, and so it becomes part of the green drink. But I don't. Again, the curcumin is not what the body is not what exists in nature. Turmeric is what exists in nature, not curcumin. Again, can there be some therapeutic effect? Yes, but there will also be the backlash of a toxic effect, or an effect of putting something in the body really is not equipped to handle. Now, if you look at most of the research on vitamins and vitamin isolates, the good news is your body rejects it outright anyway. So a lot of it gets pooped out, or it's going to get pissed out. Bottom line, you'll see if you take a, quote, multivitamin supplement. Now, I heard Dr. Oz the other day on TV talking about you should take a good multivitamin supplement. Man, wrong. What insanity is that? Take a good multivitamin supplement? Why? So you can waste your money, you can get all pissed out? All those B vitamins that are synthetically derived and made in labs? No, the body doesn't use it. That's why you see your urine turning a dark color when you take these things, because it really just pisses it right out. The body sees it as a toxin. That's why it goes out into the waste system. It goes out into the sanitary department. It will not get absorbed by the cells, or very little will get absorbed by the cells. So, if you have money to waste, continue to do so. If you don't have money to waste, don't bother spending your money on vitamin isolates. It's a bad idea. So that's really the first rule of the super supplements courses. We don't do the vitamin isolates, and I explain why. I explain natural is better. Keeping these minerals, vitamins, and cofactors, and bioflavonoids, and tocotrienols, and don't get caught up in the words so much. These are just the natural factors surrounding a particular vitamin. And so we say that we need a particular vitamin. No, we need the vitamin complex, the natural vitamin complex as it occurs in nature. Not as man that decide to play God and start synthesizing all this stuff. Now, what also happens with vitamin isolates? Well, they have to be stabilized. And they're either going to be stabilized in a gel form, they can be stabilized in a pill form, they can be stabilized in a powder form. When we see it stabilized in gel forms, it's typically gelatin capsules that are derived from pig hoofs. Go do the research, pig hoofs. Well, if I'm trying to take a good, let's say oil, like a hemp oil or a fish oil or a krill oil, if I'm trying to take this type of oil and I take it in a pig hoof derived product, is that what you wanted? Is that what I wanted? No, I wanted the oil. I didn't want pig hoof, a gelatinized pig hoof. Sorry. The other issue is these binders and these fillers. First of all, if you're taking a pill, the pill, it can only exist because it's been glued together and pounded with literally thousands of pounds of pressure to make a pill. And now it's number one, it's a synthetic pill. Number two, it's binders and fillers that are artificial, synthetic, non-nutritive, and difficult to break down. And of course, glued together under tremendous pressure and heat, which obviously we know destroys nutrients. And then you take it thinking that it's doing you some good. The good news is most of it never gets broken down in the first place, so it just comes right out in your poop. But again, they found ways so that it can break down quicker. Your body will absorb it, and then it'll have to piss it out, or it'll have to store it as toxin somewhere. And so, again, we know that the detoxification is the holy grail of health, and so why would we want to be taking something that's supposedly helpful and destroying ourselves with it? I have a couple of examples here, and this takes me even to the so-called natural side, like a spirulina, the turmerics, the acerola, the camu, the macas of the world. Great supplements, except, of course, you can go way wrong even with these, because they have to be sprayed with insecticides, especially if they're being transported internationally, or the company has to pay more so they don't get sprayed. And then they have to be packaged in some way so it can be sold. Some of the smart ones packaged in dark tinted glass. That's pretty much the way you want to get your capsules anyway. Your veggie caps are the best way to get your, if you're going to have to take a powdered herb. But again, do you want it? You want it grown organically? Yes. How do you know it's grown organically? Who can you trust? These are major questions that have to be answered. Otherwise, again, something simple like this product I'm holding in my hand, which is spirulina, which comes from Hawaii, and it touts all the good stuff that it does. And then we go down to the bottom, silica. Well, I wanted spirulina, not silica. Then it has chicory inulin. That may be good, but guess what? I didn't ask for chicory inulin. I asked for spirulina. Vegetable magnesium stearate. I didn't ask for magnesium stearate, which we now know is toxic. And this is on a bottle of spirulina, folks. So, I don't know about you, but when I get spirulina, I want just 100% spirulina with nothing added, no stabilizers, no binders, no fillers, no magnesium stearates, none of the stuff in there that's potentially toxic. I want what I paid for, which is spirulina. So again, this has to be put to the side. And this is another supplement. This is your multivitamin supplement. This is supposedly one of the top selling ones that's made by just made by a doctor, by the way. He formulated it. I won't name any names, but geez, I got to use a I can barely read this stuff. Dicalcium phosphate, monosalicylate, stearate, silica, cellulose. This is hydroxypropyl something. I mean, this is insane. Half the stuff I can't even pronounce. I'm not even going to try. Excuse me. This has to get thrown out. Luckily, I never took any of it. I think you're starting to get the picture. Did I have another one here? Yeah. This one is still full. This one is really a common extract called Genema sylvestre, which and chromium polynicotinate. Bad ideas. One is a metal extract, a chromium extract that's chelated, and then the other one is a herbal extract that's supposed to be good for the liver. Why do you put these two together? And it's beyond my understanding. Gelatin capsule, magnesium stearate, and cellulose. Well, again, your chromium. Why don't you get chromium as part of a natural mineral intake from your food? That would be the first thing. Again, this has to get thrown out. So you can literally go through your cabinet. This is stuff that I've had for years. I just hold on to it now that I know better, and I'm able to chuckle about it now. But you got to read the labels, because if you read the labels, you start to say, hold on, what is this? What is this ascorbate with X, Y, and Z binders and fillers in it, and magnesium stearate and hydroxy this, and it just gets crazy. These are chemicals. These are things. Even if they weren't toxic, you don't need them. The body can't use it. It can't process it, and so it's unnecessary. Why are they in those supplements? Is because it helps the flowing process mostly, or helps the binding process. I don't know about you, but I don't want the tablets. I mean, you're completely out of the picture. But again, most of your pharmaceuticals, most of your mass-produced vitamins come as tablets, compressed tablets. Please, no more compressed tablets. Let's just throw everything out with that. No compressed tablets. Now, with that said, if you're on a pharmaceutical and you absolutely have to take it, well, then you've got to weigh the good with the bad. And so, if you absolutely have to take it, then you take it. And you take it with the idea of, hey, eventually I want to come off of this. We don't want to be suppressing symptoms, covering up symptoms, managing diseases, instead of actually getting to the curative factor, which is always, again, detoxification, nutrification, oxygenation, alkalinization, decreasing of inflammation, increasing of energy, and the list goes on and on and on. And so with your supplements, this is what you want to be doing. You want to be taking supplements that detoxify, that don't actually add toxins to your system. You want to be taking supplements that actually your body absorbs completely and utilizes 100%, and then goes into the bloodstream and feeds the cells, right, and energizes the cells, and it gives the information that it needs, the right vibration, the right frequency, to the cells. Okay, and we take it in, and we'll call it nutrition. Remember, everything is vibrating at a particular frequency. The farther away it gets from its natural state, the more disharmonic it gets. So that's a rule. So the farther we get away from its natural state, the more processed and more stuff we start adding. We even have to be careful about supplements when we start mixing them all together. Just because a supplement says that it's a detoxifier doesn't mean that the next supplement that also says it's a detoxifier, and we're talking about herbs here, the next herbal supplement, even if it's organic, and you start mixing them all together because it says it's all good for detoxification, bam, that's not the right way to go about it either. I mean, all these things have energy signatures. Some of them can work synergistically, some of them cannot. And so again, that's going to be a course on herbology. And I'll give you a little, just a little take on herbology right now. There are herbs, we call them adaptogens, like a maca, it would be an example of an adaptogen. Ginseng is an example of a adaptogen. So these things seem to be, they go where they're needed. And they seem to have multiple effects in just sort of building and restoring the whole entire body, nutrifying the body, and they also help with detoxification as well. But the more go out to where there are deficits and where things are needed, and that's why we call them adaptogens. There are herbs that are building herbs. There are herbs that are protecting our herbs. There are herbs that are anti-inflammatory herbs, like the turmeric. Like the garlic. There are herbs that are that have a antifungal, antibacterial effect, like golden seal, and of course garlic again. There are herbs that are detoxifying or pull toxins out of the body or help stimulate the body to pull toxins out. There are herbs that help that stimulate detoxification process, both in the GI tract and both in the lymph system. And so that's just a quick way of looking at herbs. When you look at them, are they detoxifiers, are they builders, are they adaptogens, what's their effect? And again, do I want to take a separate herb, or do I want to take herbal combinations? Again, even if it's 100% organic, if it's not sprayed, if it's bottled in glass, which is inert, again, the stuff that's in plastic, it's cheaper, but it's not the best way. Unfortunately, when it's bottled in glass, especially colored glass, which all herbs have to be bottled in colored glass, otherwise the light will start to disrupt the herb itself. So your shelf life is much longer, and you get a much cleaner process with glass and with the darker amber colored glass to protect the herb. But again, that adds cost. All right, so we have to weigh the difference between cost and potential toxicity. Anytime the plastic is coming in contact with a natural substance like an herb, there's a chance for that plastic, depending on the grade of the plastic, to leak BPAs or other chemical constituents into that herb. So you have to be careful. I know some of the best herb companies are sending out bulk herbs in plastic, and I tell them please don't do so, but they do so anyway, and sometimes you can't get around it. But again, things to keep in mind. So again, we now know about the toxic potential of vitamin isolates. I recommend no vitamin isolates. Every once in a while, I'll recommend a vitamin D made from a mushroom isolate. That's sometimes helpful. I've noticed that does help if you're coming down with a cold or coming down with upper respiratory or flu. Increasing the vitamin D levels actually more effective than vitamin C even, and so sometimes these mushroom extracts I have found can work, given that they're processed properly, they're bioavailable, and it's vitamin D3, i.e. the active form of vitamin D. So aside from that, I don't really recommend any extracts. Mineral supplements, I've talked about Shilajit, I've talked about the oils, that you need essential fatty acids. But the main thing is that we read ingredients, that we understand what's going on when these vitamins are made, when they're processed, how they can be toxic to the body. I was just reading an article about a year ago about they were having a big controversy about magnesium stearate and all these stearic acids that are put as binding and flowing. Really, if they're flowing agents to help the machine stop from getting gummed up. If they don't get gummed up, they can make more. So the bottom line is profit. And again, if we don't wake up, we get taken to the cleaners because we're putting this stuff in us. And I don't care if it's toxic or not. There's a lot of controversy about that. My feeling is that it is toxic. You can go do your own research, but I don't want magnesium stearate in my herb. I don't want magnesium stearate in my vitamins, but then again, I don't take vitamin supplements. Why? Because I'm eating primarily at least 80% raw food diet, and then I'll supplement with really green juices that's high in minerals, it's high in hydration, good water, it's high in the chlorophyll, it's high in all the vitamins and minerals that you need, and of course fruits, which are nature's cleansers, energizers. Anytime you go on a detoxification program, you're probably going to want to be doing 75% fruits as your diet. This is before you even try to go on fast and all that kind of stuff. You got to ease into it and then ease out of it, the detoxification program. And that's why the detoxification program, I'll write it, will be very specifically written. And I'll probably on the website have a video just explaining how you should use that particular written material. And so I don't want to get too wordy. Go look at the first article on the website, drzhealingarts.com. I'm actually in the process of building a new website, and that's either going to be drzhealingisанart.com or drzhealingarts.net. And so I'll let you know when the new site is up. This site that I have is still not the way I want it, and I can fiddle with it, or I can start from scratch and build it up the way I want to, now that I know a little bit about coding, a little bit about building websites, a little bit about the back end of websites, and I've taken some extensive training, so I now at least, even if I have to hire somebody, I know exactly what to tell them in order to get the job done and get it done quickly. So it's, and even when the site is the way I want it, it's really not about the site, it's really about the content. So, but you want the content delivered in a way that people could navigate easily and take it in easily. I would like to put my videos from YouTube onto the website. I do have it now, but I have it sort of in a very straight format. I want it to be able to write something and explain each video and give a summary of the videos. And so we'll do all that in the new website. So stay tuned now for the Super Supplements episode 2, where I'm going to go into specific herbs, specific therapeutic benefits, why you should use them, how you should buy them. And again, remember that healing is an art, and that we must always hold into our minds a constant state of detoxification. I mean, today I'm looking at the sky and I'm seeing the chemtrails. And, half the people I ask say, what do you mean chemtrails? I'm like, well, have you looked in the sky lately? No, I haven't looked in the sky. I'm like, how can you not look up in the sky in the middle of the day and see these things, these lines of smoke just being, put out into the atmosphere? This is toxic. There are times I go out and my eyes are burning because of this stuff. And there are a couple books that you can get from Amazon. Or What in the World Are They Doing? And I can't remember the names of the book, but there's 2 books by the same gentleman. So he does an extensive job with chemtrails, but the bottom line is, man, we are being really, really bombarded by a toxic environment. And the last thing we need to be doing is having vitamins that are also toxic, with the man playing the game, a guy that's coming and going because of our own ignorance, our own stupidity, our own programming, and thinking that vitamins are good. When vitamin isolates are simply useless and potentially dangerous. And some of these vitamins can block your natural receptors that the real vitamins are supposed to go into, and then you don't get, then you become vitamin deficient. So, and that's a physiology issue, but you just do a little bit of research on that about these isomers. The D and the L isomers is like your left hand and your right hand, but to the body, the right hand is nowhere near what the left hand is. It's like a lock and key fit. So this fits one way, this fits the other. And the body has a receptor that's designed for it to fit this way. That's what it needs. It doesn't need this. That then tries to get in there and locks it up so the good stuff can't get in. So that's all I'm saying. Remember to detoxify, hydrate. Stay away from most of these supplements. Let me recommend some reputable companies. I'll put them on the site once I really checked out a lot, and I've got a few that I use myself personally, but I want to go, I haven't done a check on them in a few years, so I want to really start do another check on all these herbal manufacturers, because some of these that are even good and reputable, sometimes they'll have a supplement or an herb, they'll slip it in there, and then you're like, well, what is this? I know the state of California now, and that to help consumers, by the way, is now forcing some of these herbal importers and herbal suppliers to put on the labels that there's a chemical in the herbs that the state of California can determines that can cause cancer. Okay, what is the name of that chemical then? If you're going to force the companies to put that name on the herbs, then tell us what the name of the chemical is. What is the potential herb? So now I have to call the herb companies and ask them what this is about. Again, it's political. I don't think it has anything to do with anything harming anybody, and it's really designed to scare you away from taking natural herbs. And I think if the system had it their way, if the forces that be had it their way, they would control all the herbs and all the minerals, make everything prescription, and we'd really be in a mess. So we got to fight against that and stay true to ourselves, and don't poison ourselves anymore. Detox, alkalize, oxygenize, hydrate. Don't take the vitamin isolates. They're not good for you. Go look at the article on the website. It's pretty informative, and I'll again do a second written part and a second video. Every time I do a super supplements course written part, I will follow up with a video as well. So the first article, episode 1, is up. This is the companion video to that, and we'll continue next time. So until next time, remember, healing is an art. I'm Dr. Z, wishing you peace, power, prosperity, but most of all, love to you and your families. And remember, I like doing this stuff. I have a lot of love for you. I love dropping the knowledge bombs on people. I love waking people up. It's a wonderful feeling. And I've not made a dime doing this. This is strictly something that's personal from me to you. So please take advantage of it. And again, thank me for allowing me to be part of your educational system, part of being your teacher, your instructor, your guide, and most of all, your humble servant. Goodbye until next time. And I hope everybody wakes up. Remember, the first rule of healing, first do no harm. Stop killing yourself. Stop putting toxins in your body. It's time to pull the toxins out of your body. Bye now.